All right, shalom, y'all. So I'll make this quick. The game be right there for you. I have a cousin, one of my guy. You know who he is. Why? So we were having a conversation. And when I say the game right there, so we were talking about basically, I guess, some of the things that's going on, some of the evils and all that. That's pretty common talk lately. The Trump and the wars and the stuff like that. And basically, he's saying like, well, I'm just saying like, if God was like a just God and just like you remember Boys in the Hood when he was like, it was a God, why would all these people be getting killed and murdered, all these things? Well, the Bible, we born in sin, right? We're in Babylon, right? Fact number one, we're going to go through things. It's a fact, right? Key is learning, okay, why am I going through them? Me individualize it first. Why am I going through it? Because it's just, so I can rise and do what I need to do. So while we so busy afraid, because when you see it, it does. It's like, man, you watch that stuff, it makes you sad. It's like, you be like, man, you be depressed. And what happens, you eat the apple. Evil. Like good and evil, you eating the apple. And what was so dangerous about that is what happened? Duality. So think of both the left brain and the right brain. I don't normally do this, but now I'm about to get a little deep. So the left brain is that's the logical side. That's what most of us consciously think with. What's logic? So when someone says that, well, if it was a God, why would it be all this? Logically, if people who are not like religious or, other, of other spiritual aspects, people, let's put them aside, but I'm saying just your normal average Joe, they like, that makes all the logical sense. It's like philosophy. It talks about it in the Bible. And it says, let not the philosophers fool you, because it's going to make so much logical sense. So what happens is this. I told you I'm put you on game. When Christ was talking to the king, he was talking to one of the he was talking to, I can't think of his name, but he asked him, one of the kings, he had a lot of money and a lot of power. And he asked Christ, he said, what can I do? Because I guess, Christ, he like, man, Christ wasn't arguing with these rulers and all that. And, Christ was doing his job. I'm going to get to that later, his job. But anyway, he asked him, he said, how do you know these things? Because these spiritual things doesn't make sense to the logical mind. Christ told him, he was like, you have to be born again. You have to be born again. God said, he's like, how can I be born again? What do you mean? Like, can I go back through my mother's womb? It made no sense, just like today. So whether you're with the Bible or I don't have to defend the Bible. I'm not even a Christian. Like I say, the closest we might get, I might say Hebrew Israelite, but I'm not part of any of those organizations. So I'm just me. I am. But anyway, so like I said, I'm gonna give you game. So you really, no matter how much you love somebody, loving somebody, just letting them, be where they are. Think how they're supposed to think, how they feel. Just, hey, that's my God. I'm not trying to convince anybody or anything. But this video, it told me, it's like, okay, this is what I need to make. For that one might be that one person that might get this, right? When they thinking outside of logic. So when you're born again of the Spirit, I told them, it starts getting clear. You look at Job. I said, Job. Remember I said your job. You look at the story of Job. Said Job was a just man. What happened? What did I tell you earlier in Romans? It says, the powers that be. People say that today. It's still relevant today. So I don't care whether you say it's translated at the Council of Nicaea or whatever. It's happening. That's how you know it's real. He said, don't be afraid of the powers that be. They are ordained by me. Just like in Job. What happened? For those who don't know, the Satan, Beelzebub, whatever you want to call the devil, went to the seventh heaven. Seventh heaven. There's multiple heavens. I'll get to that in another video. And he had to get permission. So 365 times in the Bible it says, fear not, or don't fear. Right? 50 times it says, fear me or fear the Lord. What are most people doing? Not only, like in Job, everybody was questioning God. And then eventually at the end, Job even was like, but why? God came, spiritually, I feel, saying, did you create the Pleiades? Did you do this? Saying, you can't, trust in me with all your heart, mind, and body and soul. Lean not to your own understanding. You won't understand it. It's a 10% piece. I can keep throwing these out. 10% piece of God that passes all the understanding. So I'm saying that to say this. I'm still going to love him just as much or anybody else. You have to let people be them. That's true love. They only can figure it out if they sit back. So I'm going to tell them this. So I'm going to send them this video. You can't ask anybody to get revelation. Revelation happens within. Revelation happens within. When you serious in your heart and you want to know something. Now, I'm going to tell you, be careful with that, because what happens, you might get condemned. Just like in Job. Say, did you do this? Did you do that? Like basically, I'm a just God. Don't question me. You can't understand it. You don't have the ability to understand it. So people think what you want to think. I'm still like Job. I'm rocking and rolling with the big G. And as far as Putin and reptilians and all this stuff, I took 2 years studying all this stuff. You know what? I guarantee I do it. But when Prince wrote slave on his face, he rebelled. What happened? When Bill Cosby rebelled, what happened? This for us people. I'm telling you, this is the way to get free. This is why I'm here. This is my purpose. What happened? These are millionaires. The Bible said, think not too highly of yourself. Christ said, I'm a servant. Some say slave, but also a king. Knowing spiritually, yes, I'm a king. I'm alive. I get you. You get it. But when you get it, it's not your job to go down the rabbit hole and rebel. You putting your energy in something else. So again, I'm explaining it another way. Thank you, God. How did our ancestors get free? Did our ancestors rebel? They knew what? They were slaves. That's half of it. They knew it. That's why Malcolm X said the house Negro. Well, master is mine, it's master. You have a house Negro mindset. You don't know you're in mental slavery. You comfortable. This is why a lot of chosen people gets put in seclusion, because they go like, I'm going to strip everything. You're not going to have time to do nothing but be like, whoa, let me just think. And man, you're going to be very uncomfortable. You like, hold on, something ain't right. You feel a need for freedom, but it's not rebelling. Like the basketball player, he came out to talk about the LGBT and all this. Let them do them. You didn't have to open your mouth. And like I said, I'm going to back it up using slavery. How did they get free? They had old Negro spirituals that's still relevant today. Let me tell you. Wade in the water. They don't want you to know what they doing. They singing. But this the thing. The people that's with them know that wade in the water. What is water? What is water? Is the Holy Spirit, spirituality, knowledge, wisdom. What is the Underground Railroad? I'm going to break it down. They are free, but the Underground Railroad, that's synonymous with your unconscious mind. People are trying to rise. I'm a sin. You got to deal with the past, the unconscious, all those things that's blocking you. That's what that's synonymous with. Neo in the Matrix. Neo, that's our thinking brain. That's what they call him, Neo. When he was underground, I think it was the Matrix 3, he had no power. This dude powerful beyond belief. And I guess the guy was synonymous with Satan. He told him, I run this. Because what? He didn't have the keys to, like they say in Revelation, you say hell or Hades. That's the underground. That's where where you store all your fear, all the unknown things. They call it you sleep. You don't even know it. You just walking through life, dead. And there, like I say, like here, yes, we're slaves. Let me prove it. Just like what did Prince say? Prince said he had slave on the side of his face. People thinking he's talking about just the music game and how they enslave their people. No, it's everywhere. And no matter how powerful you think you may get, yeah, it's possible to actually become a master. Well, how do you become a master? You get all the power and respect. That means it's not about money. That's why they don't mind us getting money. It's about power and respect. Well, look at what it's eating like. Money, power, respect. Because after the money, Scarface, see, you really see these things differently. What he say? You got it first. You get the money, then you get the power. Then, man, you know he loves some women. But anyway, moving on. No, I'm being serious. Like the power and respect. The basketball player, I think he'd say, lost his house, his child, and his girl, and his job all in the same day. Been there twice. Yeah, it's set up that way. Because you shouldn't have opened your mouth. See, he said he turned it to a Christian, and I'm proud of him because now you're on a journey. But once you get there, you have to seek counsel. Because when you read, say, study to show thyself approved by God, let a workman not be ashamed, you have to study yourself. And what you learn is you should have never opened your mouth. It's not, you're not powerful enough. You're a slave. Kwame Brown was talking about that. Yeah, we think of slave like slavery is getting whipped and all that. No. This is mental slavery, unconscious mental slavery. So even when you start getting a little knowledge, what they want you to go down that rabbit hole. People go, oh, the Anunnaki doing this rock doing this, and people thinking they're insane. They're not insane. No, they're beginning to become awakened, and they're saying it's something more. I'm just not here just to be here. It's something more. And this is what against us, but they putting their energy, mind, time, and effort against what's against them. The woes of the world that was already predestined, but you don't have eye to see it because you're looking elsewhere. That's the game. You're going down the rabbit hole. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. Just like the slaves, how did they get free? They were quiet. They worked together. They were quiet. They knew it was a need. They knew they were field Negroes. They knew something ain't right. So what are we going to do? Wade in the water. Wait on God. You ever hear that term? Wait on God. Just wait. Don't question. You know when you question God, you judging God? You don't unknowingly. So you supposed to fear what's over them. But we're fearing them. They don't even have any. Listen, no matter what they do, they don't have no power over you. What if they do to Christ? It's like people think they can see, but do you really see? You read the book, but do you know you're literally living it? It said we have to be, the chosen has to be chastised. God chastises those whom he loves. That's what I'm saying. Do you really read it? Do you really believe it? Because when you do, you live it. You have to live it. Christ was the firstborn of what? Many brethren. So we got to be chastised to it. That's not going to feel good. We going to go in and out of the door, but no man can close. And sometimes we going to forget. Sometimes we going to start enjoying the world again too. But at the end of the day, we know not to question the big G, the Most High. We don't have to be nothing against the Hebrew Israelites, but we don't have to be outside preaching and hating the white man, and we don't hate them, we feed them and this and that, trying to live by law when it literally says if you try to live by law, you will fail. It's so simple. The yoke is so simple. Just love yourself and your neighbor. But why is it not? It's not easy. That's why it's hitting in plain. It's too easy. No. We have to learn about the Olmecs in our history. We have to learn about Rome and Egypt and the Kemetic gods. And we have to get Trump off of the power and the reptilians and all this crazy mess. No, just be cool to one another. You arguing about what's right, what's wrong, what religion, what is this, when the only is division. That's their goal. They said they're together. Why is the LGBT so strong? Because they work together as a unit. It's power in that. And we do not. That's it. That's simple. Being cool. You don't even have to join a group. You could just be the change you want to see in the world. That's what they say Mahatma Gandhi said. Now, you know what some people that would say that say they well-versed to study? Well, actually, it was an African or melanated indigenous person that came up with that saying. Okay, if they did, cool. But the point is the saying relevant? Are we going to discuss the 66 books of the Bible and how it's more at the council when I see it and it got connected and all this deep stuff? I'm not deep no more, y'all. I'm real. It is what it is. Strongest saying it is, because that's the big G. I am that I am. But what do we do? Unconsciously. But no, hold on. But I am that I am. It is that it is. Stop questioning it. Live your life. Be happy. When the trials come, hey, you got to endure it and then figure it out because it's something for your growth. And the people that's using logic, like, well, this wouldn't happen, that wouldn't happen. I feel you. Hey, you've been there, so why can't you understand them? Don't judge them. That's the key. Judgment is one of the most horrible things you can do. Fear and judgment. The only thing you're supposed to do is fear not doing what you came here to do. But we fearing everything else. I'm just saying. So if you don't have a dime in your pocket, you get more out of just saying hi to somebody or whatever. You know what I mean? You give somebody a real compliment, I mean, if they deserve it or whatever it is, than you do studying 30 lessons about the Anunnaki or something. Well, did it exist? Did it not? Did it? Were you there? Is it really? I'm saying, if it's relevant, like me, you might have to show that you know something about this. People are like, well, you just don't know about this. So I'm saying it plays a part. But I see some of these people are so brilliant and intelligent, and they have so many eyes on them, and they're saying like the Hebrew Israelites, my man Tazariak, and so well versed, but it's the conscious bias, meaning because you're a Hebrew Israelite and you have what happens is you have a certain knowledge, even though you might read the Bible, you don't truly see it. Some things in there, because if you did, it's a lot of things that y'all wouldn't do. All people. I don't care about translations. No. Love your neighbor. Love all people. Not putting your energy in nothing negative. Love your neighbor. It's right there in Romans. That's how you get free. But we want to question everything. See, the ancestors had it right. They had it more right than the what's that? The 1960 movement with Martin Luther King. And you know what Martin Luther King said? Martin Luther King said, you know what? I hope I didn't lead my people to a burning building. Meaning, yeah, I get it where your mind was at, whether you for them, against them, whatever, that's irrelevant. I'm looking at what happened. I'm dealing with the issue. And what he was saying was trying to be included with the whites who didn't want to be bothered. So let me ask you, let's get this. I like making things relevant of today. Let's just say, okay, I'm a man. If a woman doesn't want to be bothered with me, more power to you. Now, being the bigger person, literally, some people might be like, man, screw that BS. Hey, look, I'm not going to force myself on you. I'm going to continue to better myself. One day you probably might want me again. I may never see you again, but whichever way, I'm not going to deal with you. So that's you no longer relevant. So meaning we could have built our own buses. We had see the power that we had. That's why they had to listen. They came together. They were losing money, but they could have built their own. Meaning when you build your own, that means what do they have to respect? As I said earlier, power and more respect, or just respect in general. You got to respect it. Because now you have your own army. You can't talk without an army. What are you really going to do? If an army comes up to you and says, give me all your money. But see, this is like a political type of enslavement. It's politically correct. So what do you do? That's why most people are not aware of it. And they try to rebel against it. Bill Cosby, Martin Luther King. So many, it's not taken up for them, but it's saying, yeah, it's plenty more people that's doing what they do. Why were they chose as examples? They rebelled against a system that's ordained by a bigger power. Whether you believe that or not, okay, let's just say what can you see? Most people, that's only 10%, but most people, they go by what they can see. What can you see? Okay, yeah, it's something bigger out there. How much does it affect what you really need to do? How much does it affect you saying, rather than the sister saying all these things about the black man saying all these things about the woman, and then the other people, well, it's the white man. I'm just saying, from a lot of people I talk to in my experience, I get much more hate from my black sisters. And I'm saying all this was already preordained, but that's another video. But what if all that changed? You don't have to date. I'm saying it changed with respect. See, if that coming together is what they say we will never do. More so, we will get all this religion and all this other things, and we will use that will divide us because we say, no, I know the way. rather than just humbling yourself. Bible says, don't think more of yourself than you should. That's how people at the top went down, because they had a lot of money, but they didn't have power and respect. They didn't have an army. Therefore, their word meant absolutely nothing. Yeah, you might have people that listen to you, but they're going to politically what? Kill you. And what are those people who were listening going to do? So all I'm saying is, you know how to play the game. Yeah, you see somebody, they doing some dirt. You don't, hey, I'm calling you out. Because yeah, it sound good, but what is it going to do? How is it going to help any type of movement? More so, you see somebody doing, hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, be kind to evil. It says it in there. But see, what you see is, I ain't no punk. Not about being a punk. It literally takes a stronger person to see evil being done and say it's being done for a reason. It's making us think of the art of war be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves. Proverbs. I'm just listening. Why am I listening to Proverbs? Proverbs says in there, these are the dark sayings. Be as wise as serpents. Get wisdom. Get understanding. You can't understand it with the physical mind. Of all they say, they cost you everything you have. And like I told you, it probably will. Get understanding. Now, you might hear that, but you don't feel it. The words I'm saying, see, depending on where you are, it's going to hit you all in different ways, depending on the elevation of where you at. And that's cool. But never try to sell yourself on somebody. No matter how passionate you are about something, no, it's individualized. Main thing is just being cool to people, being kind to people, being loving. It sounds so cliche, but that's why. It's so simple. That's why I said my yoke's simple. My yoke is easy. I like to use the word simple, though, because it's not easy. How is it easy being kind and cool to somebody who wants your demise? You have to be one of the most strongest minded people in the world. There you go. I just gave you the key. And I got to do it. That's the thing. You got to practice what you preach. But at the same time, if you fall, don't laugh and judge your brother. Oh, that was the same dude up there talking all that stuff and doing all that. That feel good. Because when you step up to your purpose, people say, oh, I was too scared to do it. So they waiting on you to fall. I'm just telling you. That's right there is how they get us. It's like it is what it is. I'm telling you, when you get that relation, it's like, look, yeah, it's a lot that might be going on, but don't put your attention there. If you happen to see it say, yeah, hey, cry with your brethren. Have compassion. But no, everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. But how we're biologically made, these things, what they call feelings, are so hard to get out of. That's why you have to literally get in the spirit. You have to literally be still, go underground. Why are they underground? Because what you can't on land, they can't see what you're doing. They're trying to see what you're doing. But don't worry about all you doing is being kind. See, because what you do is why give a politically correct bully a reason? All they need is a reason. All they need is a reason. But how can you get mad at people that's just being kind to one another? They just spreading joy. And like I said, as far as Martin Luther King, it's like, okay, hey, look, we just doing us. And we gonna let you do you. We don't need to segregate with you. If you don't want us around, that's fine. Love you, peace. Because what that does is that's how, now I wasn't there, but it makes so much sense. That's how we used to carry ourselves when we were royal kings and queens. So many stories of people from European people going to certain lands and saying, I've never seen people carry themselves with such dignity. See, when you're doing that, they can't call you animals because they are the animals. When you take the higher road, it's not being a punk. It's being a punk if you really fear it and saying, I'm just taking this higher road because I'm afraid I'm about to get my ass whooped. But no, when you take the higher road because of wisdom or because you're like, hey, it's one of me and to a million of them, this doesn't make much sense. So Billy Carson, when you say, yeah, the Bible says, honor your slave master, you took one phrase. And nothing against you, brother. You a great brother. You brilliant. I don't know you, but I'm just saying, more power to you. I love you, brother. But listen, I don't care how much money you have. It's not about money. It's about wisdom. Have you ever picked up another book and read one sentence and said, okay, this is what it is, without getting the context of it? That's what we're hearing. This is what's going on now. So if you really read it with your heart, cuts like a double-edged sword, big bro, and it's the discerner of what you're trying to get. So if you're trying to get that, that's what you got, and you ran with it. I feel you. Man, you made a lot of money off of it. I ain't mad at you. But I'm being real. I want you to really listen if you ever hear this or whatever, whoever might hear it, before they might blow up. We're in a mental slavery. A slavery of the mind, a prison. We're in a prison. This is a prison. Babylon. It was already ordained. So what the Bible is saying, you are slaves. Some people are starting to get that, like, I'm a slave at this job. And the person that's giving the checks, that's the master. But rather than rebel, screw you, screw this job and all that, do your job, saying, no, I know I'm more than this. I'm going to do it to the best. I'm going to clean, like Think and Grow Rich, I'm going to clean the hell out these windows. I'm going to do the best I can do. Whether you work for yourself or somebody, whatever it is. But just like Prince, when he had that slave written across. But don't try to, what's the point of rebelling? When you don't have an arm, you don't have power, and you don't have their respect. Wisdom. So, no, yeah, I'm a slave. I'm an honor. So he's seeing it as saying, well, honor a slave, you honoring evil. No, what you're honoring is like a treaty. If someone that has an army says, okay, this is what it is, you either honor his treaty or what? You rebel against it. You have two choices. And when you rebel, it normally doesn't look good. This is wisdom. This is understanding. Of all things, get understanding. Now, I wish my man that played bad, I wish he could have seen this. Because being a Christian is more than just saying, okay, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. It's getting wisdom and knowing when to speak, when not to speak. But you honor the treaty. Like, this is the treaty. It was already preordained. So honestly, when you don't honor it, you're just not honoring what God's trying to do. If God say, this is how I'm choosing to strengthen you, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to sound good. It's not going to make sense. That's what, trust me with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. All the answers in there. Lean not to your own understanding. You won't understand it. But that's the beauty of it. You ain't got to. You don't have to. You're like, all right, it is what it is. I am that I am. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not a Christian. Not the closest I get as far as my melanated indigenous or original Jew, however you want to call it. That was preordained in there. Yeah, I'm being real. The other Jews that say they are and they're the synagogue of Satan, they ain't got nothing to do with me. That was preordained. All right, hey, look. But anyway, I would go back. I would say I'm an Olmec. The Olmecs. Check that out. And then I would say Hebrew Israelite. But when you keep going and you ain't got no cap, you know, they say no cap. You ain't got to be capping, because when you get indoctrinated, baby, you're not going to know it. As intelligent as you are, you capping. I am. Well, you what? Everybody trying to figure you what? That's when you become like the Father. Nobody can figure you out. You ever think of a woman when they figure you out? You're done. You're done because you're boring. The salt, they talk about salt in the Bible. You don't have any flavor anymore. I know where you're coming from. This is why I switch up so much. Sometimes I sound like a preacher. Sometimes it's like a teacher. Sometimes I might sound like a gangster. Sometimes I might be a sluggard. Sometimes I might be a pervert. Not in the way you think. I'm just saying I love me some women. But sometimes I got to cop it and be like, I'm not even thinking about them. I don't know where I'm coming from, so I guarantee you don't. So who are you? I am that I am. I am that I am. Stop trying to figure me out. I'm here for a reason. I'm trying to carry it out. I don't even know. Hey, listen. Sometimes, like Christ even said, hey, can you take this cup away from me? We don't know the battle, depending on our purpose. Whole point of the video, though. Stop going down the rabbit hole. Stop. Oh, and trust me, I get it. I found this rock and it had a Merkaba on there. And I'm like, oh man, I got sent to the 6-pointed star. And I knew God told me this is the Merkaba. And I'm going, yeah. What is that doing? Yeah, I'm not saying don't know these things. But don't spend all your time doing this when you're doing so much more just being cool to people. Hell, start to be the change you want to see in the world. Like I said, with yourself. Stop judgment. We do it without even knowing it. Like I said, people do, well, why would this, why would that? You judging God, just like Job. It's literally saying that's our job. It is what it is. But I guarantee it work out for your good. But there's no way you can understand it with a logical mind. That's why they had the spiritual leaders that went back and got the slaves. They did it in secret. We ringing bells. Yeah, I see this, I see that. They probably planting some of them things out there so you can find it. It's Illuminati and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, whether it is or whether it isn't. How does it really affect you? Or does it do more saying, hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, what's up? Live your life. It says they were already ordained, okay? Them bloodlines or whatever, and this is the key, and this is how I'm going to end. But what does it also say? Repay evil with good, meaning their demise is definitely coming. How it's going to come? Whatever. We might see it. It says you're going to see it. At some point, it may be, hey, you might be like me and believe in reincarnation or incarnation, but if you get incarnated more than once, reincarnation talks about it in Ecclesiastes. Anyway, moving forward, there might be another life. Hey, look, you don't know. So what do? The most simplistic thing you can. This is the biggest game I can give you. Love yourself and love your neighbor. How do you do that? Stop judging. Well, you believe in this, you believe in that? Okay, like Malcolm X said, leave that in the closet. Can you say hi to me? Can you say how my day going? I love that song by the old girl. She about how you doing, how your day going. The simple things. It's not about money. Well, are you seeing you, how much money you got? Because what happens is women became our God and money became their God. Sounds crazy. Let me explain real quick. I thought I was about to end. Listen, this is important. This was in the garden. What happened? Society knew they had to go against the woman. So while everybody would be saying, oh, look at the white man, look at the white man, look at the Jews. The people who hate us are the most, are our beloved, our queens. Because they're upset because we're not under rulership of God. See, if we are the chosen, yes, that's true. That's been already told to me. Now, it's only true to you when you truly believe it. But anyway, but we have, see, when people say, okay, you have to put your wife, you got to go on submission and how it was back in the day, why do you think it worked so well? But what happened was people who had submission of their wives, they began to have their heart hardened. They wasn't treating them right. See, this is what you don't do. See, we have the hardest job in the world. When you think of a child, you love your child to life. But what happens? Look, you do all these things. You don't ask that child for money. They don't even care. It's like you're doing it because you love them. It's a job. But that's your child. The same thing with your wife. People say, oh, well, like a woman is like a child. And they get so upset with you. And when you love your child more than I don't know what, than anything, a woman gonna love that child more than anything, most women. But they get offended. Yes, say love the women like Christ loved the church. So if I had to bring it to the day, love your women like women love kids. That's submission, where you are doing your heart not hardened. Is you are just the head, but you're being led by something higher. Because like I said, our God is just women. Prove it. Let's say take all the women off the earth, or all the money, all this, all that. What happens? Almost 100% of heterosexual men, and I would say 100% gonna say, give me the women. What's the point of being here? Think about how when they are trying to induce somebody to get on their team and they take them to the Playboy Mansion. What women? Women, because that was already preordained. That's the spirit of Jezebel. Yeah. If you chose it, I told you gonna live this thing. And they're going to seduce you. It's one of the strongest spirits it is. And see, I gave her time to repent and she didn't. Because that's the God that most men are serving. Most unconsciously. But like I said, just be real. It's very strong. Women are, some of the most brilliant people I see, they be like, oh, my only weakness is women. Jezebel. Heck of a spirit. Very strong. Very strong. And you drunken off of it. So you're not going to see it. You drunk. You drunk off of it. Women drunk off the spirit of money. See, because money is what? The root of all evil. But what is it also saying there that a lot of people don't know? It's also the answer to all things. How is it the answer to all things? Well, let me tell you, and I guarantee you will never hear this from anybody else because it was just given to me for right now. You might hear it later though, but anyway, not the answer to all things because it can buy anything. Can it buy health? No. Can it buy happiness? Can it buy somebody to love you? I don't care what you do. You can't make nobody love you. They're actually probably, if you give them a lot of money, it will probably disrespect you more. Just it's the truth. Lived it. See, you thinking it can buy, because that's how it sounds. But like I said, of all things, get wisdom. The wisdom is no, the money is the answer to all things because the answer is your money is what you make it. It was always different sources of currency. And when you begin to build and you begin to, like I said, not trying to, people who don't want to be bothered, just don't be bothered with them. And you kind to one another and you respect. That's the key. Even more than love is respect. People say love, respect more than love. I agree with it. But I say, love, you can't have real true love without respect. See, real love is unconditional. It's agape love. But anyway, so what happens is money can be, this might be generations, but hey, we putting it in the atmosphere. Money is no longer relevant currency. See, it's just paper. It's what we make it. The answer to all things is us coming together. It's love. It says it. It's simple. Think about it. Their currency that they print was no longer, and we don't have to fight against it or whatever. No, we come together because we don't give them a reason. We pay taxes. We do. That's what it's saying. But give Caesar what is Caesar, and God what is God's. God is the head, the cornerstone of their builders. They rejected it. So they got what they got coming. Because when they rejected the cornerstone is the big G, the 10% of which, that's why I know things other people don't. It's that 10%. And they rejected it, so they do evil unknowingly because they're drunk off power, just like we're drunk off women. Power is their God. Women is our God. Money is women's God. They are literally gods. Sex is a God. What do people say when they have sex? Oh God, oh God, oh God. Yeah. This is a lot deeper than you think. And hey, it is, like I say, it is what it is. If you try to figure it out, I'm telling you, it will drive you nuts. Live your life. That's why we saved by grace. Captain Tazariot, that's why we saved by grace. We cannot uphold law. We are holy. It says, be holy just like your God is holy. Holy is just trust. Being in God saying, look, hey, submission. Submitting all that. We want to know. We want to be powerful. We want to be this. Think more, not more highly of yourself than you are. While we're here, we're slaves. Plain old simple. Deal with it. But what about you ever, I was in prison or jail, whatever, for 2 weeks, right? It seemed like 2 months. But anyway, the first half, it seems, oh my God. It was so then every day they're like, you about to get out. You about to get out. It was driving me nuts. One guy came to me. He said, hey, look here, player. Never forget this. He said, man, I see what they doing. They messing with your head. He said, act like you ain't never getting out of here. And the first thought, I'm like, this nigga crazy. I'm like, I don't know what this nigga done did, but hey, me personally, hey, I'm just here for child support. But then it clicked what he was saying. He gave me a nugget of wisdom. And that time began going, it was moving fast. Hey, look, who gonna really enjoy prison? Like I said, I love me some women. However, what can I do? Do I have an army to go against the people who lock me up? You don't think that police, most unknowingly, but do you don't think that's a gang? That's an army. And if I don't have an army to battle them, I have to do what? Honor it. Honor it. A jail. That's slavery. You're in there, but you have to honor it. Or what? Rebel. And guess what happened if you rebel? You see what I'm saying? It's relevant today, but you have to have an eye to see it. So anyway, once I began to say, oh man, it is what it is, time just start flying. I made the best out of it. That's what we got to do with this life. It's like if you don't find that purpose, I go in and out. But I never just lay down. It was already predestined that way. And I started figuring it out because when you go back into the world, what people going to judge you? Oh, it was preaching that. And that's what happens when you call yourself a Christian. That's what happens. When you call yourself a Christian, when you call yourself this, when you call yourself that, people are waiting. They're saying, oh, you think you better than me. They think that. And you try to uphold this law. And you can't see other things of your growth, of all things, not some things. So whether you know your book or whatever, of all things, get understanding, not some things, not most things, of all things, get understanding. And just because you understand something does not mean you have to abide by it, but you get it. And what happens when you understand someone else's religion, you don't have to agree with all of it. None of it. But I find some truth in all of it. And actually, it all correlates like a puzzle, but people are blind to it. Yeah, conscious bias. And that's how it's designed, for division. But anyway, you either just leave it in the class, like Malcolm X said, let them be. Let's talk about golf. Let's talk about basketball, football, whatever. Let's just be cool to one another. But if it do come up, that's what I say, religious and politics, because that frontal lobe, baby, you get so strong, you're not going to hear nothing. You're listening to respond. You're not trying to understand where they're coming from. I have a gift where I can almost understand where anybody's coming from, except for, I'm being honest, like bisexual, gay people. I'm being honest, I don't understand that, but I don't judge it. Certain evil, yeah, I don't understand it, but I don't judge it because I know everything happens for a reason, because the righteous judge. So when people, I'm in, like I said, I'm really about to end right here. So when people question the big G, I don't have to defend the big G. Come on now, out of anybody. I don't have to defend the Most High. But Most High is a righteous judge. I did a song about this, the unrighteous judge, and kings and all this, and the spirits. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. Like I said, the Jezebels. That's one of the, my brother sent me a video about that lustful spirit that you don't even see. And the women, they talk about, rather than them being women like Sarah, respecting themselves, covering themselves. That's why like other races, they cover themselves. I understood it. Because only the husband is going to see that body. But showing, and it's like, man, yeah, I felt guilty at first. I'm like, I love to look at it. I'm genetically made that way, though. But when they show it all, and they doing this, and it's like, give me money and this and that. It's like promote, it's Jezebel, and they don't even know it. And we hate it because we rebelling against a Jezebel spirit. We're wrestling not against them. We love them. Think about it. Think how much you love black women. Don't nobody love black women more than black men. I guarantee it. I'm not talking about anomalies. I'm talking about, trust me. But what does that do when we really love y'all? Come on, my man, no. It pushes y'all away. Y'all like to be ignored. Y'all like to chase. Y'all like hood people for a reason. Why? Because you need, just like Eve, you're being deceived. You need something that you can't figure out. You like the excitement. So when we run most of the financial part of America, it's not just the melanated individuals. See, the man feel we have to do it because if we don't look like a drug dealer or we don't have the finest clothes and cars, we know we're not going to have no women. So what choice do we have? So it's brilliant to have them saying, money, 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 money. Because it's logical. You get my time, I know you want it, better pay me rather than me doing something for free. It's very logical. That's why I do understand it. All things get understood. I trust me, ladies, I can understand it. But when you have something bigger, that's why I say, even though it's a cap, people that's in certain Hebrew Israelites and all of them, they have something higher that they're living for. So their God is no longer money, so they can respect and actually see the person in the simple things. I listen to that song 10 times. The simple things. What if money went away? And like I said, you ask the average woman, I've seen all these things. They like, get rid of them. Just give me the money. Give me the money. Because they don't see our value, because our value is the Most High. Our value is being under submission to God. And when we do that, that gives us a certain dominion, and we take dominion over everything. We take dominion over what's ours. So we have some submit. They like, well, give me something to submit to. But you think it's money. It's not money. It's purpose. It's purpose. And sometimes that purpose might not lead to a lot of money. Sometimes it may be a while. You don't know. It is what it is. I am that I am. But you might miss out on your husband, or you might miss out on your wife serving another type of God, serving the God of Jezebel or the God of money. In God we trust. It's a reason it's on there. I'm about to end this. 45 minutes. Nobody might see it. Here's the thing. It's not even about that. Because it's something higher. It's something higher. And that simplest thing in the world. Know that it's something higher. And only can't nobody tell you that. You have to, it's a revelation. But anyway, once you get there, that qualifies you. Then you seek a wife. You find of a wife, you find of a good thing. But all in Proverbs just talk about the evil woman, evil woman, evil woman. Sleeping with a man, wife. Guys, that's our fault. We should never know. If we know somebody with somebody or somebody married, we should have our brothers back. Like, no, I'm not doing that. That's how we take our power back, brothers. We have standards. That's not cool. It's not cool straight with throwing money. Trust me, I've been there. No, I get it, but it's not. We giving all our power away. Because then, like I say, I understand it. It's very easy. Like, I'm going to go get this money. But what about that gift you got? Because then you suppress that because you're like, this is easy. Of course, we built to do what's easy. This is why I say you will understand the Most High. The Most High knows how we built. We built that way, so obstacles come to force us to do certain things and grow. If y'all heard anything I said, I'm telling y'all should probably listen to this 5 times. I don't know if it's this pink moon in the day or whatever, but some jewels came. Don't worry about who it's coming from, how it came or whatever. But I'm telling you, listen, for me, in my house, I'm not questioning the big G. The big one. It is what it is. I am that I am. Peace. Hey, no, I'm waiting. Tell them the great I am sent you. So I'm telling y'all, the great I am sent me to give you this message. Because that's the message. That's how they got freed. That's how they got freed. Said, tell them the great I am sent you. For Pharaoh, that's how they got freed from Pharaoh. Let my people go. But see, what happened with that? Why 40 years, they're going in circles. How many times have you went in circles in life doing the same thing? Circles, circles, circles. So you have, some things are, you have to read between the lines. They start fussing at one another. They're looking at another man. God said, I'm not a respecter of man. What if they was just cool with one another? Like, I don't know when it's coming. Are you giving us mine? It don't feel good. Shoot. It is easier. Think about it. It's easier to be enslaved when they like, okay, at least we know exactly what we're doing because our mind is set to know. But when our mind doesn't know and can't figure it out, hardest thing in the world. It's a reason for that. And what happens is it's very hard to be kind, very hard to be loved. Fruits of the Spirit. What is that? Above all, Captain Tazariak. Love, joy, peace, gentleness, kindness, meekness. To those things, there is no law. Stop trying to keep law. Let me not say that, brother. I'm not going to try because, you gotta, that's how it's not a judgment. But don't get capped because the people you respect, you're like, I don't know this, I don't respect you. See, people tend not to listen to who they don't respect. Don't matter whether it's a nugget or not. But wisdom teaches us. It could be a donkey. You don't know where it's coming from. I am that I am. I might come from that bottle of bleach that's sitting there. Telling you. How do you say you love me, a God you never seen, but you don't love your brother you see every day? Do you see white people every day? Most days? Family? Friends? Stores? No matter how they acting, there's something in. Do you know how much inner strength it takes to still be kind to them, still be loving, to you walking out the Bible? You trying to keep law. That's why that's Old Testament. That's why Christ said all those that came before me were thieves and robbers. That's why it's necessary. We go through these things for a fulfillment. When it's going to come, how it's going to come, no man knows. The day or the hour. But how about we just enjoy it? How about we take this slavery, this imprisonment? What if Prince and all them took all that money and say, I'm gonna give some of this to make some people happy, and I might go and I don't know, whatever he into. I think he played basketball or whatever. What if he went and put his mind towards just enjoying himself? Forget it. They win. They got my. Even if they get the sons, was it worth it? As brilliant as he was, of all things get understanding. What if I was there to counsel him? And I'm not talking about physical, I'm talking about spiritual. Some things are just not worth it. Say, I'm not about to sit and let somebody punk me, take from me, because I'm so wise. Think of yourself not wise. Humble yourself. Just think how much fun you could have. People like, oh, I wish I had that much money. That's why you don't, because that's how it works sometimes. Where you're set, whatever you have and wherever you're at, you're focused on something else. It's very hard to get underground and say, you know what? Consciously, I don't see what's going on. When you're in a certain paradigm, so I'm going underground, unconscious. Not as trying to ascend and they be so great. Everybody want to be great. I'm so great, I ascended. And when you're not dealing with your own, excuse my language, your own shit. So what? So you can deal with your shit so you can be kind to people. So you can eat certain things. Like I say, don't judge. If you do, you do. I'm going to work out, do the best you can. Get some parasites out, but be cool to people. And certain things will put parasites in you. And I'm serious. They will have you acting a certain way. That's not even you. Why can't we just be cool to one another? Hey, man, Rodney King say whatever. Hey, Rodney King threw a bar harder than Martin Luther King. He said, why can't we all just get along? That's a kingdom statement right there. Why can't we? Why can't we all just get along? Because when we all get along, money does become the answer to all things because we no longer need it. Shalom.